Great companies aren't built on average talent. In private equity backed, high growth businesses, the right operator changes everything. Onward Headhunting partners with founders, operators, and investors to build elite finance, strategy, and operations teams. From early hires to exit ready leadership, we deliver the talent that drives outcomes. If you are scaling or transacting, go onward. Visit onwardheadhunting.com or find us on LinkedIn to learn more.
This is Scott Becker with the Becker Business and the Becker Private Equity Podcast. Thrilled today to be joined by a brilliant young professional. We're joined today by Elliot Jarvis. Elliot's worked for the last several years in the business development private equity field. At one point, he worked for the same law firm as myself, just a tremendous young, talented person. Elliot, can you take a second and just introduce yourself? Then we'll talk a little bit about what trends you're watching in the business world, what you're most focused on, and a lot more. Elliot, can you take a moment and introduce yourself?
Yes, thanks, Scott. So again, I'm Elliot Jarvis. I have been in the M&A world on both the sell side and the buy side for about 10 and a half years. As Scott mentioned, I did work at McGuire Woods and have always been focused on business development and sourcing and helping business owners with their transition and selling their businesses.
Talk about the trends you're watching in that area today, the M&A market. What are you seeing? Are deals coming back? Is it still sort of soft? What's your sense of what's going on in the deal market currently?
Yeah, so I think deal flow is still very strong. I think there's a lot of private equity firms that are really focusing on their business development function and sourcing deals differently than they probably did, 5-10 years ago. I think a lot of people have moved from intermediary kind of coverage to kind of a hybrid of intermediary coverage along with proprietary deal flow and sourcing through a business development function. And so I think there's still a strong sourcing function at all private equity firms. And I think it's going to continue to grow for the years to come.
Do you think more of that at the lower middle market, the huge mega funds? Where do you see that being the most busy, the most active?
I think more the lower middle market is where I've been exposed to the most. I see a lot of firms focusing on service businesses as roll-ups in buy and build strategies across, software services, healthcare services, business services. I think most in the lower middle market, there's a lot of buy and build strategies happening in the market.
And are there specific industries that you see more active than others? Any sense there?
Definitely see HVAC and kind of like home improvement businesses really being rolled up quite a bit, whether that's landscaping or, HVAC or roofing. It seems like a lot of home services is kind of the new trend that I'm seeing more and more private equity firms buying, platforms and growing them.
Fascinating. And what advice that you would give to funds looking for deals, the best way to find deals, the best way to source deals? How much of it is through direct contact with founders versus through investment banks and so forth?
Yeah, I think it's really moved to a kind of a 50-50 hybrid model where business development functions of private equity firms are utilizing the investment bank community along with their own proprietary outreach and sourcing. I think from my experience, the proprietary deal flow has always been more beneficial with building the relationships with those owners from the firm level to the business owner, along with also having investment bankers and brokers be involved with the process.
Fantastic. Elliot, tell us one thing that you're most excited about going into the summer. Is it the deal world? Is it a specific sports team? Is it getting out to golf? Is it reading? what's the one thing you'd point to and say, God, I'm excited about this going into the summer now?
Yeah, I think one thing that always excites me is I play a lot of golf. And so being able to play golf in the Chicagoland area as well as going up to Michigan is always great. I don't think there's any better place than northern Michigan in the summer. And so look forward to going up there and playing golf and hanging out on the water.
Who's the most famous musician who just loved northern Michigan? Anybody that you could point to?
Probably Kid Rock.
I think that's the answer. That's the answer that pays. You get a free book for that answer. Thank you so much. No, Elliot, absolutely, that's the right answer. Thank you for our listeners for listening. Thank you to Elliot for joining us on the Becker Business, the Becker Private Equity Podcast. What a pleasure. It's like old home week for me getting a chance to visit with Elliot, as good a person as they come. Elliot, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it.